The Nazi regime during World War II was notorious for its grotesque and inhumane scientific experiments carried out in the name of racial ideology and military advancement. Under the shadow of concentration camps, where millions of innocent lives were lost, Nazi doctors and scientists conducted a series of dark experiments that defied all ethical boundaries and left scars on humanity that persist to this day. One of the most infamous figures of this grim chapter was Dr. Josef Mengele, often referred to as the Angel of Death. At Auschwitz, Mengele fixated on twin studies, driven by a twisted obsession to unlock secrets of genetics. Twins were subjected to horrific procedures, injections of dyes into their eyes to try changing their color, transfusions between siblings and amputations, all conducted without anesthesia. Many died from the experiments or were killed afterward for autopsy. Meanwhile, the Nazis pursued experiments aimed at understanding human endurance under extreme conditions. At Dachau, prisoners were subjected to brutal tests designed to simulate conditions faced by German soldiers. In high-altitude experiments, victims were placed in vacuum chambers to simulate depressurization, often resulting in death or permanent brain damage. Hypothermia trials were equally barbaric. Prisoners were submerged in ice-cold water or exposed to freezing temperatures to test survival strategies. Victims suffered excruciating pain as their bodies succumbed to frostbite or heart failure, with researchers meticulously documenting their agony. The medical experiments weren't limited to survival research. The Nazis also explored ways to sterilize populations deemed undesirable. In Ravensbrück, women were exposed to sterilization techniques that involved caustic chemicals, radiation and surgical mutilation. These procedures often led to infections, chronic pain and, for many, death. The overarching aim was to ensure the extinction of certain groups, aligning with the Nazis' genocidal ambitions. Infectious disease research was another horrifying avenue. Prisoners were deliberately infected with typhus, tuberculosis and malaria to test the efficacy of vaccines. Those infected were rarely treated and were often killed for post-mortem studies. In other cases, wounds were intentionally inflicted and then contaminated with bacteria, dirt or shards of glass to observe the progression of infections. These experiments were not conducted to advance humanity but to dehumanize, torture and justify the Nazi ideology of racial supremacy. They serve as a chilling reminder of the depths to which science can sink when wielded without ethics or compassion. The world continues to wrestle with the legacy of this dark period, striving to honor the victims by ensuring such atrocities are never repeated.